Oh hey, it's your friend that spends far too much money on Polar Pops, here to bring you more tech tea, for free even. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 3 tech updates to get you through the rest of your week. Hades 2 just dropped a bombshell on Sony and Microsoft. Here's what you need to know. During the Switch 2 flavored Nintendo Direct last week, we saw no less than 300 video game trailers of titles that are either being worked on for the Switch 2 or that will be ported to the console on or after its release date in June. One of those was Hades 2, the sequel to the game of the year that was released in 2021. It's the perfect recipe of beautiful art style, great writing, and just being a damn good roguelike. Hades 2 has you playing as Illinois, the daughter of Hades, as you try to beat the Titan of Time. Much like its predecessor, the game was released on early access back in May of last year, and it will be in development with the final release date set for sometime in 2025. Fast forward to this week, and Supergiant Games announced via X that Hades 2 will be a Nintendo and PC timed exclusive, with the title launching on not just the Switch 2, but the original handheld as well. It honestly makes the most sense since this game, like a lot of roguelikes, just makes sense to be on handheld devices. Unfortunately, the developers did not go on to say when the title would be released exactly, but we do know that barring any bumps in the road, that should be by the end of the year. They also haven't mentioned when it would be eventually ported to Xbox or PS5, but we've got some time, so stick close as we learn more. Today marks 113 years since the day Titanic set sail, and thanks to modern technology, new discoveries have been made about the liner recently. Here's what you need to know. Back in 2023, the BBC reported on how Magellan, a group that specializes in deep-sea forensics, set out to take 700,000 images of the remains of the Titanic and the seabed which it lies. Over the course of 2 years and over 200,000 hours, they were able to capture the entirety of Titanic's 2 parts and the debris field which cover the 3 square miles of the ocean floor. Their hope was to use these to piece together a model and solidify as much evidence as possible before time and the ocean deteriorate the graveside for roughly 1,500 of the 2,200 passengers aboard the ship which lost their life when it sank. The Magellan Group actually went a step further and digitized some of the work they've pieced together of the bow and made the model available on Steam at the beginning of the year. In the game, you can control the ROV to explore the remains of the bow just as they did when they gathered the images. They captured as many details as possible without being able to touch the Titanic or any of the artifacts since those are technically protected. But you can buy the game right now for $18 on Steam. Now, thanks again to the BBC, we have learned that the group has finished the detailed, or at least some of the detailed analysis of the full-size digital scan of the Titanic and can parse together a lot of what happened in the moments leading up to the ship going under the surface, like evidence in the boiler room which proves that the workers stayed on the ship, fueling the boilers with coal until the very end to keep lights on as long as possible for potential survivors. They're still actively investigating everything that happened in those hours back in 1912, and they estimate that it'll take years to uncover as much as they would like, but Magellan's work has allowed them to have the entire model and detail as if the experts were standing on the ocean floor themselves. In the meantime, the group has partnered with Atlantic Productions and the National Geographic on a new documentary titled Titanic: The Digital Resurrection, which premieres tomorrow on Disney Plus and Hulu. And finally, Reddit is hoping to supercharge its use of AI with Google Gemini. Here's what you need to know. Reddit Answers is the social platform's implementation of AI on its forum, which was released back in beta back in December. It is particularly good at scouring the site for suggestions to your questions and gives you a list of internal Reddits versus other AIs which have external linking involved. One would think this would solve the problem of people creating 455,000 subs about the exact same question without using their eyeballs. But just kidding, that will still happen. But it does help with it to some extent. It did have issues with newer events and information, as well as just giving basic answers sometimes. I mean, we're talking about pulling information needed for answers from community members versus the sources that are one-to-one what you need. Now, thanks to a partnership with Google, which was announced yesterday, the company is hoping to leverage Gemini to provide answers not only for subreddits, but also check these answers with Gemini's existing data for better accuracy. We know that most people attach Reddit onto their Google searches anyway, so this kind of feels like a mutual benefit between the two parties. The giant tech company also paid Reddit $60 million last year in order to train its models with Reddit posts. So it's basically like all of the hard work was done for the social media site. Now that this partnership is out in the open though, do we think Google is winning the AI race yet? That's all I got for now. Make sure you lovely watchers hit the subscribe button so you can catch up on all of the new content I make, and I'll see you back here on Saturday for some more tech tea.